Cheers everyone. Here we are. It's chicken a la pip this evening. If you would have saw my video not long ago, I was talking about doing some pork, but I've been given my instruction that we have some chicken to use. So one of the key things that I like to do is just use stuff that we can use in the kitchen, and to finish off, to make sure that we're not wasting anything in this Corona lockdown time. So tonight I'm going to do something really simple, but really flavoursome. That's going to pack a punch, pack that flavour, boost our immune system to fight off this nasty virus. So let me just show you what I've got. Firstly, onion and garlic pasta sauce. So plenty of tomatoes in there, there's onion in there, and there's garlic in there. Garlic, part of the onion family, but it's brilliant for boosting your immune system. I've also chopped some garlic here. There's quite a bit of garlic, you may say, yes. Here's some chicken that I had left over in the fridge. However we have leftovers in the fridge, I have no idea. Come closer. I put some green beans in here. I just took them out the freezer actually, so that's why I've just put some heat into them. Then I've chopped some yellow and red pepper. I'll probably do the orange one as well. I had 2 chestnut mushrooms left over in the fridge. Some courgettes, I've used half a courgette. And then I had 4 sticks of celery that, as you could see, were getting close to the end of their life. Celery starts to wilt and get a bit like a man that can't get it up really. It gets a bit floppy towards the end. And you don't want to lose the crispness of it, so the best time to use it is now before it turns. So that's great in a dish. I've also got these Italian tomatoes, which are going to go lovely with this sauce. And then what I've done is I had a bit of Spanish onion left over. Hola, amigo. And also we had a bit of red onion as well. So what I'm going to do is put the Spanish onion in first. In fact, we'll do that right away. And we'll put the red onion in towards the end, because if you cook with red onion, or otherwise known as salad onion, it's a very distinctive flavour when you use it raw in salads, but when you cook it, the flavour disperses quite quickly and doesn't end up as a very strong flavour. However, if you put it in towards the end of your cooking, it still has that lovely flavour of that salad onion, that red onion. So you just drop it in towards the end, and also it'll still have a bit of crispness to it as well. And as you will have learned by now, I love to get the textures and the flavours together, the difference in colours, but also to have that different feeling on your tongue and your palate, and you can bite into it. Some is crunchier than others. So there we are. We're just going to cook up that onion first. If ever you're working with onion, it's normally always best to cook down the Spanish onion to start with. It just softens it up. It takes some of that real harsh, the bit that makes your eyes water, takes that out of there. So it's all about trying to keep positive, isn't it? Coronavirus, we're locked down until the 7th of May, is it? Yeah, 7th of May. So we've got to work with each other here and keep our energy and our positivity flowing at a pace. So I'm going to be doing more cooking. I'm probably going to have to be a bit more adventurous. Or we could do an experiment where I slowly work my way through everything that's left in the fridge and the freezer and see what we can make out of each and every one of those. I've got a knack of being able to do that. So that onion is cooking up nicely. If we had smell-o-vision, you would smell that cooking now, getting the beautiful smell coming through from that. I'm then going to throw in this celery in there. Mushrooms we don't need to throw in until a bit towards the end, but we'll throw the celery and the courgette in now. And we'll start to cook that off. I'm also going to add to it, yes, you can tell what's going on this evening. I needed a glass of wine to get me through this afternoon. And then I needed another. So cheers and good health, everybody. Us Brits, alcohol does seem to help, doesn't it? I'm going to get this beautiful Sauvignon Blanc all the way from New Zealand. Some Marble Sauvignon. And just pour, some of that in there. And you can see that sizzling up now. That will just help that cook. The thing is, when you cook with wine, It does generally cut the alcohol out of it, depending on how long you're cooking for. But you still get that beautiful flavour in there as well. So there you are, that's on a nice heat cooking away there. I'm just going to push, in fact I'm going to throw those peppers in there as well now. That'll be good for them to cook in. Like so. I think I can feel the onion just tickling away on my eyes there, as onion does. It dances around, doesn't it? So good evening to each and every one of you. I hope that today's news, it probably wasn't a surprise that the lockdown is going to continue, but it may be a disappointment to many of you, thinking I want to get back to normal, or whatever normal was. Do you want to get back to normal, or do you want things to be different moving forward? There's a thought. But you know, what I'm going to do is just cook us up something really good. Look at the colours in that pan again already. So that's just cooking up in there. I'm now going to throw in a handful of garlic, because I want those flavours to cook in with those vegetable juices as well. And I don't know if you're like me. Do you like garlic? Do you like fresh garlic? Feel free to interact. I'll see whether I can get Steve to feed back any comments to me. I'm going to be working with some beautiful tagliatelle this evening as well. I've got one bag there, I've got another 2 bags in the fridge. They have quite a long date on them, so they're like part cooked already, fresh as tagliatelle. And they're great because then you only have to stick them in hot water for a few moments and it cooks up really nice. It has a different taste to it as well. It tastes really, really fresh on the palate. Do we have any pasta fans? Who have we got on there tonight, Steve? Who do we say hello to?
Sue Scriven says yummy.
Hello, Sue Scriven. Always nice to have you back.
Julia Rose says doing good, Phil.
Julia Rose, hello, good evening to you.
And Belinda Divers says different.
Different? Well, we like to be different. See, the great thing about when you make up these pasta sauce is already made for you. You've got the tomato, garlic and onion in there. And then you can pretty much throw anything you want. I always think these are great dishes to just empty the fridge. If you've got bits and bobs of anything, particularly vegetables and salads, you can throw them into this dish and just cook it up. Because it's nice, it's fresh. The tomato already gives it the base of that lovely freshness. The garlic's already going to get the palate going. I'm going to throw these mushrooms in there now, like so. And why not? We'll throw the tomatoes in as well. So that's all now simmering away in there. Now for me, I like a bit of extra seasoning, so I'm going to put a good few turns of pepper in there, black pepper, and I'm also going to put in some cumin, some ground cumin, which will give a lovely spiced edge to this if the garlic and onion isn't enough already. So that's now cooking away in that beautiful wine, and I put a little olive oil in there to start with as well. We've got all these lovely colours here. And now what we want to do is we want to heat up the chicken in there as well. So here's that lovely plate of chicken that we had from a whole chicken that had been eaten, obviously. And that's what was left over. And now I'm also going to throw in this red onion. That, as I said, is a beautiful distinctive onion, but loses its flavour the more you cook it. So you only want to put that in towards the end, really. But it'll have a different texture to the first bit of Spanish onion that we put in. And it'll have a different flavour as well. And then I'm going to give this a shake, the sauce. I'm going to pour it in. So we just want all that to start to heat up together now. I'm just going to add to that a little bit more wine, because of course we've got some sauce in there. There's the wine. You can do that with water or with milk as well, depending on the dish. And then we're just going to pour that in there. So there you are, we've washed out the jar. We haven't wasted a thing in there, look. And we've got all that extra juice. It's cooking away. We just want to stir it in a little, so that's getting down to the bottom, and those beautiful rich flavours of that tomato, onion and garlic sauce. This is an own brand one that we had from Sainsbury's, I think it was, but you can obviously get the other ones that are made by, there is a Dolmio, and who else makes them?
Ragu.
Who?
Ragu is one, isn't it?
Ragu, yeah, Ragu is one as well, yeah, Ragu is one as well. And of course, the thing about the kitchen is you've just got to have a bit of fun, even sometimes when you're not feeling it, like I wasn't earlier on. But I'm going to keep that pepper. You know, energy is an incredible thing, isn't it? And our energies change. And sometimes we can be at the highest of highs, sometimes we can be low, sometimes we're like that, sometimes we're not in sync with people, sometimes we're in sync. Laughter, love, harmony, whatever it may be. But I think the important thing to remember, and I have to remind myself of this, I'm sounding a bit... it's the antihistamine tablets for the hay fever. They make me lose my voice a little bit. But yeah, sometimes we just have to remind ourselves that, you know, we can't be on a high and happy and feeling the best every single day. It is a bit like that yin and yang, isn't it? And sometimes life can be a facade and we're trying to give the impression that we feel great when actually you're just thinking, gosh, I need a glass of wine. And that's one of those days today. I feel like I need a glass of wine, and I want a glass of wine, so we shall have wine. So good health and good evening to each and every one of you. That's lovely, that goes a long way. So that's bubbling away now. And the importance about this now is just getting the heat into it. We don't want it to dry out. So while that's cooking and bubbling away, I'm just going to find a lid for it, which I have here. So we're going to turn the heat down to number 2. I'm going to put a lid on there because we just want that to steam away in its own juices. So it will keep that heat in there. It will cook through the chicken and the different vegetables there, and will give us that really rich flavour as everything comes together. The great thing about doing this dish as well is that when you're cooking those vegetables in there and bits of salad, is that all the nutrients, all the vitamins, all the goodness is staying in there. It's not going anywhere else. Everything that you're going to serve onto your plate comes out of that bowl, besides the pasta, comes out of that saucepan. And that keeps all the goodness in there. That's exactly what we want to achieve. And if ever there's a time to be having fresh vegetables, it's all the time, but now is also the time. So right, let's just put the water on for the pasta.
Andrea Evans says you're a culinary whiz and she's hungry now.
Ah, thank you, Andrea Evans. Nice to have you on this evening. Steve, this is where I say, how much pasta, how hungry are you this evening? Is that enough for the two of us, or?
That's plenty.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Oh, might as well finish it off.
Well, I have finished it off. That was it. There was only a couple of loose ends in there. So there we are. So that's how much pasta we put in there. And I'm just going to put over there, just to help with the flavour, a couple of twists of salt. I also, as you would have heard me say before, I always like to put a bit of olive oil in mine. Extra virgin olive oil, would there be anything else? So we're bringing that up to heat. We just want that heat to go through absolutely everything. There it is, bubbling away. It's important when you do cook something like that and you're letting it bubble away to make sure that you keep going back and stirring it. The last thing you want it to do is to stick to the bottom of the pan. It also gives you the opportunity to check on it as well. If you've got expensive Le Creuset sets or whatever you may use, the last thing you want to do is burn the bottom of it and also ruin your supper when you've made such effort. So I'm now going to use the hot water from this. I always boil the kettle first. It's good for pastas like this. Cuts out all the waiting around. So there we are. Bit of salt in there. Extra virgin olive oil in there. And we had some cloves of garlic left over. Let's just move those. And then this, for me, normally is a great time to tidy your kitchen. Because some people cook and don't tidy up as they go. And I find it really frustrating, people that don't know how to tidy as they go. And they always say, oh, I'll do it at the end, I'll do it at the end. And they never really do it at the end. And then it takes a big job, it takes 2 tasks. But if you tidy up while you go, then literally by the time you get to the end, there's no real tidying up to do, except you're washing up afterwards. I'll have a little bit of washing up there, but there's not too much to do. There we are, counters. Right down there. It's been a beautiful day today. I'm told the weather is going to change. I'm not a weather person. I haven't seen. I'm enjoying what we've got. But gosh, does it make you feel like you want to be on holiday? You know, somewhere like, well, imagine if you was in Ibiza or Greece somewhere, or I don't know, Mallorca, or so many places you could be on holiday. And if you're younger, you like clubbing, you know, maybe you're doing yourself up to the nines, going out to have a bit of a party, spend a fortune to get into these rather expensive clubs, especially if it's in Ibiza. Or maybe you'll be dressing up to go to dinner, and you know, you make all that effort, you make yourself look pretty, you want to make your partner look proud, or you want to feel good with your friends, or you want to go out in the pool, whatever it may be. And today, this evening, is one of those evenings where it just makes you think about being away and just enjoying company and beautiful sights and beautiful food. You get the smells as you walk past the restaurants. So this is the vibe that I get from doing this very Italian-styled pasta dish. Not Spanish, Italian. And they do it very well, look at that. And they love to use big tomatoes in there. Lots of colour. Tomatoes is always a core in Italy. Mamma mia, you like a big tomato. It goes with a big Italian man, yes? And then we've got the pasta on the cook there, hopefully. And we've got wine. What more do we need? I'll tell you what more we need. We need to be able to serve it up onto a plate and eat it. That's always a good start. Are we going to have a sprinkling of cheese over the top of this, maybe? So we'll get our cheese grater out. As Ali would say upstairs, everything has to have a little bit of cheese with it when Phil's cooking. It's exactly true. Especially when I can find the cheese. Where is the cheese?
I think it's in the cheese.
Is there... cheese is in the cheese. Oh yeah, okay. The cheese is in the cheese. Right, okay, so literally just to decorate this, and it also adds a beautiful bit of flavour. Of course cheese adds flavour. We're just going to grate down some, this is a little bit lighter, 30% less mature cheddar cheese. Does that mean you can have 30% more? Hang on, how much more can you have if it's 30% less? Normally I'm good with my maths, particularly if I'm looking at figures in licensed venues and things, but I try not to think about it too much if it connects to my diet. I always get that figure wrong. So we've grated some cheese, we've got some pasta, not quite cooking there yet, but it shall come to heat imminently. So as soon as we get that pasta to bubble up, then we'll know that that's ready to serve. That's how I will do it. And that will also mean that this beautiful mix here will also be ready as well. Can I turn that down a bit? I think I can. We'll take that down to a 1. So we just want that to simmer away in its own juices. Look at that. So we've got all of that lovely celery, some green beans, some courgette, 2 chestnut mushrooms. We've got a little bit of Spanish onion and some red onion that we put in towards the end. We've got that yellow and orange pepper that's in there as well. We've got 3 cloves of garlic along with that lovely tomato, onion and garlic mix that we bought already made in a jar like that. Thank you. for that. That's just a job. So I'm going to put 2 plates out of the dishwasher. Our dishwashers never work so hard. I'll put them in the Poverty King over here. And give them I'll give them 40 seconds or so to get that heat going. And now I feel relaxed with you all. So I'm going to have another glass of wine. Or another sip of wine, indeed. Any messages, Steve, in there?
Sarah Nicholas says, you always make me bloody hungry, Phil.
I make myself hungry as well, Sarah. Yeah, I'm glad it works for you, and I hope that you're enjoying catching some time with me, whether it's when I'm doing the live or afterwards. I get lots of messages, and I'm very grateful of all of the messages, all of the comments that come in, and all of the private messages that I receive as well, because it's just nice to share an interaction, for you to have a nose into my life and what I'm doing during this same time as you, which is a lot there. Now, if you're a key worker, and I've had a couple of key workers contact me, it's just an escape from their life, which is very demanding at the moment. And if you are one of those key workers that have contacted me, or that I've been in communication with in private chat, I send, as always, my love to you, and to have friends that are doing such amazing things. Hannah Woolley I was chatting to the other day, Liam Cunningham, the list is endless, but thank you for everything that you're doing right now. Right, that's ready to serve. I think the pasta is done. I think we're ready to rumble, Steve.
True.
Yeah, we are. Right, this is the most exciting part, because it means we get to serve it up. So I always like to present with two chopping boards, two presentation boards. Ouch! Those plates are hot. I think I overcooked them in the microwave. We've got our cheese, look, ready to decorate with. Let's take these off the heat. We can turn everything back to 0. We want to drain the pasta. So I've got my sieve. So we're just going to drain that into the sink, like so. And this is what I always do with this to save any mess. So we drain the pasta, get out those bits of drops of water, then just put it back over your saucepan. So any more drips coming off while you're ready to serve is dripping back into the saucepan. I've got my pasta drainer, server, whatever you call it. And then I'm just going to take it out with that, like a big fork, like a big hand that can grab hold of it without getting burnt. So we're just going to serve that onto that plate like so. And do another portion there. And we have a little bit of pasta. Steve has a bit more. As your nan would say, oh, he's a growing lad. He's a growing lad. There we are, so that's the pasta done. And now we're going to serve up the main man himself. So I'm just going to get a big serving spoon for this. Look at that rich, beautiful sauce there. So in there, we've got all of our mix. We're just going to serve it straight on to our plate. We've got the chicken in there that was left over from our carcass of a bird that we ate previously. We've got the celery, we've got the courgette, we've got the chestnut mushroom, we've got the red and white onion, we've got the garlic, we've got some green beans, we've got that beautiful onion and garlic pasta sauce. A bit of extra sauce on there, still some left in the pan that we can drop there. And then we're just going to decorate with a bit of cheese. And there we have it, this evening's dinner made up from an array of vegetables and leftover chicken, and also a leftover bag of pasta. Getting towards the end, we've knocked